Welcome to Mechanic. In this video we're going to go some of the hidden features on a Volvo and some features that you should also know if you're using one of these vehicles. So the first one is the driver's door. If your battery ever dies, this is the key fob right here. On the back of it there's this release button that allows you to take out this back plate, and inside there's a metal key which then you can insert right there. There's a metal key, and then you can manually open the driver's door like this. So okay, so once you come in here to start the car, you press this, of course, but you have to have the brake pedal pressed, but then you can go ahead and start the car like that. But if you only want to turn on the ignition, what you do is you don't press the brakes, you simply turn this, and that turns on your ignition without The next feature is how to turn on the ignition without starting the car. So in order to do that, maybe you want to run a diagnostics and you just want to turn on the ignition. For whatever reason, you want to power up the car without starting it. Don't press the brake pedal. Keep your foot off of it. Come to the start, turn it one click. You can see the ignition turns on. And then you can go ahead and use whatever you want to use. Just keep in mind, if you do this while parked, if you do this and stay parked for over 10 or 15 minutes, there's that risk of draining the battery. So, and then you might need a jump start, which we'll show you later how to actually do that. Right up here you have these lights. These lights, if you press and hold one, you can see you can actually dim them, and wherever you release it, that's how bright those will stay. So that's a pretty neat feature to adjust the brightness there. The next feature is adaptive cruise control and pilot assist if your car does have it. So pilot, to use those, what you need to do is first you need to be driving, and then the way you engage them, you simply press this right here, and down there you'll see that it'll say adaptive cruise control. Let me release the parking brakes. So down at the bottom there it'll say adaptive cruise control, because we're stopped, it needs a car in front of us to engage. But if you press this arrow to the right, you can see that says pilot assist. So to the left, adaptive cruise control. If you press to the left, you see adaptive cruise control. If you press to the right, you get pilot assist. Pilot assist, what it's going to do is going to keep the distance with the car in front of you, but also it's going to do the steering for you. It's semi-autonomous steering, so it's not going to be completely hands-off. So you do need to have your hands on the steering wheel, but you'll see that the car will track the lanes. Up here, right there, you see the two lines that will show if the car is detecting the lanes in front of you, or the lines that show the lane. If it's not, then pilot assist is not going to engage until the car starts detecting the lines, the road, where the road is. So keep that in mind. If pilot assist is disabled, what will happen is right here on the windshield, you're going to see two red, actually 4 red lines, and that means pilot assist is disabled. You can see that right there, that the second one that popped up, the 4 orange lines. When you see that up on the instrument, on the windshield, that means your pilot assist is disabled. It's a nice feature because a lot of times if you get used to driving with pilot assist and then it might get canceled for some reason, the car is not detecting the lines on the road or whatever, it also get canceled every time you press the brakes. When you see those 4 dots on the windshield, that means pilot assist is not enabled. You gotta be careful and do the braking yourself. The next feature is adaptive high beams. So right here on the left here, I have the lights on auto, but if you go up one, you have this A and then it'll turn on right there as well. You can see the A there with the beams with the A on top. So what that does is the beams, you're normally driving with the low beams, but if you have that on, the car will detect cars in front of you. If there's no cars on the road, it will turn on the high beams and brighten up much more of the road. As soon as it detects cars, whether cars that you're following or cars that are coming towards you, it will automatically switch to the low beams so it doesn't blind the people in front of you. The next is the turning off the screen. Here is called screen cleaning mode. It's very simple. You just pretty much press and hold this switch right here, and that is how you turn that on and off. Okay, so the other thing is, if you're new to the Volvo, keep in mind you can scroll to the left and to the right. To the right, you can change the applications. Here you can switch radio and so on, Bluetooth. And to the left, you have all the features on this car, enabled or disabled. I'm going to go through them really quick. ESC is the traction control. You don't want to enable that. This is like sport mode. The car is not going to do any traction control for you, so you want to leave it like that. Lane keeping aid. This is where, even if you don't have pilot assist engager on, the car is not going to steer for you. But if you're driving on the highway and then you start to swerve to the right or the left, you kind of, not paying attention, it will bring the car in. That's all it's going to do. It's not going to steer for you or, do all the adaptive cruise control and all that. Parking assist, this is the sensors front and back that warn you when you get too close to cars. Cross traffic alert, this is when you're backing up and there's a car coming on the back crossing and you can't see them. That's gonna beep. You can turn that off. It's nice to keep that on. Safety feature. Distant alert, if you're getting too close, you're gonna get like those eight red dots on the screen there. If you start getting too close to someone, you saw them for a brief second. So that's what that is. Start stop feature, when you're at a stoplight, the engine turns off, you can automatically turn on the camera, but that will automatically come on when you're backing up. The car can park for you, parallel park, and get out. You can fold the rear headrest. Blind spot sensors is those errors that you see, the red lights that you see on the mirror there. When you have someone or another car in your blind spot, you want to leave that on. It's a very useful feature. I'm turning it on and off, so when you do that, it does give you a quick warning that you enabled or disabled them. Road sign information, right there you can see the speed. It shows us the speed of the road. You can turn that on and off. There's cruise control. You can turn that on and off. Private locking, you can lock this with a set of private code to locate corner illumination. There's lights on the rear and front that can brighten up your to the right and to the left, so that you have more light there. You can turn it off. Active bending lights, so when you're driving, if you turn the steering wheel left and right, you'll see the headlights beam go to whichever direction you're going. You only see that at night, so you can't see that. Now, wiper service position is, if you need to change the wipers, you have to turn that on, and then you can go ahead and replace the wipers. Collision avoidance is so that you can avoid accidents when you merge and change in lanes. And that's it for the information screen over here. Right here, this is a little tricky. Turns on and off the rear wiper. It's a little tricky because it's off in the middle. So if you go down, you just turn on the wiper. If you go up, turn wiper and washer on the back. Ideally, this should have been down here, off, center, up, to turn it on, and then the next step to use the water pressure. But because it's a little tricky to get to turn that off and put that in the middle, but you get used to it. Here you can control with this. You control the sound up and down. You can control with this. You answer the calls left and right to go to change songs really quick. To check fuel consumption, what you'll do is you'll switch it to the right, click on driver performance, and you can check consumption. The next feature is using this auto brake. So if you press the brakes and press that right when you're driving, you're gonna see, and you come to a stop, you're gonna see the car apply the brakes, and even if you take the foot off the brake, the car is gonna stay. It's not gonna roll away. And that is what You can see the A right there like that. That means that if I'm driving and then I'm stopping at the light, you see that automatically engages, and even if I take my foot off the brakes, the car is gonna stay. So that's a nice feature. So the next step is, here is where you open the hood right there. Here is where you have your OBD2 port. If you're going to troubleshoot the car, you can plug that right there. That's a storage compartment there. Now to open the hood, you want to come to the front. And I already opened it, but I want to show you this. This is what you have to press while the hood is closed, and that will release the hood. Right here, you have the jump terminals. That's the positive. The negative is right over here. So the positive terminal there, and the negative, that's how you jump this Volvo. Right here, you have the brake reservoir. You have to pull this off. To see that, right here, you have the windshield washer fluid reservoir. Right here is your engine air filter. This is your mass airflow sensor. This is your fluid cap where you add engine oil if the level is low. On this one, you can check the engine oil level through the instrument cluster there for the info system in the center, which we can show you next. Right over here, this is here, but right down underneath it, you'll see the coolant reservoir. You do not want to remove that if the engine is hot. Another really nice feature with the Volvos is, if you, right on the side here, you have the unlock, but if you press the unlock button and hold it, what will happen is the car is going to open all the windows for you. So in a really hot summer day, you can do that. Or if you press and hold the lock button, what will happen, all the windows can close all at once. You can see right here, this model has the hatchback or the trunk lid kick control. So if you come on the bottom here and then move your foot underneath, what will happen is that you can unlock the vehicle trunk that way. So right here, you go right underneath there. It takes a little use too, and that's how you open the trunk lid. Right on the back here, you have two buttons. One will lock, the next one, the one on the left will simply just close it. The one on the right that has the lock symbol will actually lock the whole car. Volvos do not have a fuel cap, at least this model does not. It's just a valve that just automatically closes. There's actually two, so if you ever need to fuel the car manually, let's say you ran out of gas, you got to use the containers with a long pipe on them, because you have one and then you have another valve down there for safety reasons, so dirt doesn't go inside. So if you're trying to just fill the car up just by only pressing that, what you'll notice is you get fuel all over, and there'll be no fuel going inside. So make sure you have a pipe that goes all the way through and pushes on both valves there. So here I want to show you really quick how to check the engine oil level. So you want to swipe to the right, go to car status right there, go to, press here, read the message status. Right on the left, oil level. Now the car does have to be warmed up. Engine in this case can be running, but you'll have instruction on the screen as whether to have the car warmed up and how long. So if it's not warmed up enough, it's just not going to show you that. It'll give you a message that you need to wait. And lastly, the how to do a factory reset on this screen. Go to, scroll down, go to settings, go to system, and you have factory reset. If you are selling the car, renting it someone, you definitely want to do, at minimum you want to do reset personal settings. But if you're selling the car, I would probably do factory reset. And also the last thing is how to show maps on the instrument cluster, because by default that's not shown right there. So to show the map on the instrument cluster, what you're going to do is scroll down here, press settings, go to My Car, go to Displays, go to Driver Display Information. Currently showing what song is being played. Switch to Show Map, and right there you can see the map, and then you can just simply close that. And that's it. Thank you for watching Mechanic.